Yeah. The night class. Lesson starting. Yes, class. So, it's a very wonderful night to start maths class. Your tutor is Lord Francois or Lord Francisco, Sidiki Sonny Francis, or Sidiki Sonny Francois, or Sidiki Sonny Francisco, or Sidiki Sonny Francis. Which one you prefer? It's still Francis, same way. Alright, avun da vindu vindu fantushkave avu vindu vandu. Alright, math class begin now. Okay, remember your tutor is Sidiki Sonny Francis, class. Okay, alright, so tonight we step up the pace to our next level. Alright, cause the cartel say weed make me high to another level. Smoking comfortable. Have a ballhead like a Rastaman like Tony Rebel. Weed makes me fly without visa. Now give me coke, no cracker rum. Cigarette smoke is just not good. I am just not. Hey, let me high to another level. Alright, get the maths class begin. I was just exaggerating my song just now and my weed. Okay, so class begins. Alright, so tonight we have 864 trillion S. Alright, so we have 864 trillion S, and other from 864 trillion S we have 5S, and other from 5S we have 6 million S. You get me? Other from 6 million S we have pi S. You get me? Okay, so now we have pi S, 6 million S. Remember, we even have 864 trillion S, and other from that, let's put together, we have 15,000 S as well. So let's get to work. We have an equal sign. Listen, class. We have an equal sign of 864 trillion 16 million and $15,005. Okay, that's the equal sign we have. Okay, so remember, other from that, we did have how many trillion? We have 800 and approximately 64 trillion. So how many times 5 could go in 864 trillion dollars? Okay, 5 in 64 trillion dollars. Let's see. You should know that 64 trillion dollars, 84 trillion dollars, I should say. It's not 64. Yeah, it's 5 in 864 trillion dollars. It's 64. Yeah, 5 in 864 trillion dollars. So how many times 5 could go in 864 trillion dollars? Well, 864 trillion dollars is 864, and you put 12 zeros. Remember, class. Okay, how many times 5 could go in $864 trillion. I am gonna go at it in like approximately, give me 30 seconds. I hope I finish before 15 seconds though. Okay, now I'll start now. 5 in 64, $864 trillion. How many times? Alright, then 5 in 864 trillion. That will approximately goes in it. No expletives. Okay. Expletives want to come up, but I'm not letting it out. Okay. That would be uh 8 81 trillion and 81 trillion and 60 81 trillion 600 billion times. Oh my god, I'm truly god. Okay, my brain moves like a superhighway. I already told you. 5 in 864 trillion dollars. 5 goes in $864 trillion. How many times, class? 5 goes in $864 trillion. 81 trillion time with 600 billion. You get me? 81 trillion 600 billion times. 81 trillion 600 billion times. That's how many times 5 divided in 864 trillion. Alright, class? Now, how many times 5 could divide it in 6 million S? Well, 5S goes in 6 million S. How many times? 5S goes in 6 million S. 5 in 6 million. Well, that's 600,000 times. 5 can go into 6 million. 600,000 times. Alright? Now, how many times 5 can go into. How many times 5 can goes into 15,000? Well, 5 goes into 15,000. 1,500 times. That's how many times 5 goes into 15,000. You get me? 1,500 times 5 goes in 15,000. 1,500 times. Alright? Now, how many times 5 goes into pi? Because pi right now, 5 goes into pi. 5 goes into pi 1 million times. Yeah, 5 goes into pi 1 million times because pi is 10 million. You get me? Pi is 10 million. If we use the 6 million already, and we did have 16 million, and we use the 5, and we use the 6 million, and we use the 15,000, and we use the 864 trillion. That means we left back with just 10 million as pi. So 5 in the pi. How many times 5 goes in the pi? 1 million times 5 can divide it into the 10 million. Okay? Alright, I'm in my dragon kerchief as you can see. Dragon for Yakuza. You get me? My dragon kerchief for the Yakuza. Now, That was lesson S. How many times 5 goes in 864 trillion, class? Remember, 5 goes in 864 trillion. 81 trillion 600 billion times 5 could divide it in 80 in 864 trillion. Remember, how many times 5 divided in 864 trillion, class? 5 could divide it in 864 trillion. 81 trillion 600 billion times 5 divided in 864 trillion. Alright? Now, next topic. Topic H. Alright? Now, we have 100 trillion. Okay? Other from 100 trillion, we have 10. We have 100 trillion H. Other from 100 trillion H, we have 10 H. We have 10 H. You get me? So we have even 40,000 H. You get me? Another from that, we have pi H. You get me? And we have an equal sign of 100 trillion and 100,000 and $10. So how many times 10 could go in 100 trillion? Well, 10 in 100 trillion, how many times? Okay, 10 in 100 trillion. Oh, let's see. Well, 10 in 100 trillion, that would be like 5 trillion times 10 could go in 100 trillion. 10 could go in 100 trillion 5 trillion times. Okay? And how many times? How many times 10 can go in 40,000? Well, 10 goes in 40,000 S, 40,000 H. 10 H goes in 40,000 H. 40,000 H 2,000 times. 10 H goes into 40,000 H 2,000 times. And how many times 10 could goes into pi? Well, 10 goes into pi 10 goes into pi 3,000 times, because pi is 60,000. If we have 100 and 100 trillion, another from 100 trillion, we have the 40,000, and we have pi. What would happen? We already used the 100 trillion and we already used the 40,000, and We already used the 10, so left us back with just 60,000. So pi would eventually be 60,000 out of the 100,000 that we have, and use the 40,000 h. So pi h would eventually be 60,000. Alright, so lesson H is already finished. So it's lesson F. Remember, we're using the abbreviation for my name, Siddiqui Asarni Francis. Okay, so lesson F. Alright, so tonight in lesson F, let me light my weed. I'm gonna light my weed before I start lesson F. Oh yeah, let me rephrase lesson S before I start lesson F. Lesson S, we found out that 864 trillion, you could use 5 to divide in it 81 trillion and 600 billion times. Okay, so that's in lesson S. Okay, let me go for my liquor. Almost forgot that I got liquor. Alright, so lesson F. We have 24 trillion F. Other from 24 trillion F, we have 20F. You get me? Other from 20F, other from 20F, we got 8 million F. You get me? And other from 8 million F, we got 40. We got how much? We got 80,000 F. You get me? Yeah, we got 80,000 F. Okay? Yeah. Other from 80,000 F, we have pi. You get me? So let's find out what's going on. We have an equal sign of 24 trillion and how many million? Wait, let me take the next scroll of my week first. $24 trillion, 8 million, and 140, 140,000 and $10. Okay, so let's go to work. How many times does 20? Well, we all know that 20 is the lowest number. So how many times does 20 could go in 24 trillion. How many times 20 divided in 24 trillion? Well, 20 divided in 24 trillion, 600 billion times 20 could go in 24 trillion dollars. Okay? So that's how many times 20F goes in 24 trillion F. Alright? So, other from that, let's get to work. How many times does 20 can goes into 100,000? Well, 20 goes into 100,000. How many times? 20 goes into 100,000. Okay. 2,500 times 20 could goes in to 100,000. You get me? Alright? So, other from that, how many times 20 could go into 8 million F? Well, 20 goes into 8 million F. 20F goes into 8 million F. Let's see, 20 and 8 million. Well, that's 200,000 times 20 could goes into 8 million. Okay? 200,000 times 20 could go into 8 million F. So 20F goes into 8 million F 200,000 times. Alright? So let's get to work. How many times does 20 goes in the pi? Well, 20 goes in the pi 1,000 times because pi is 40,000. If we use the 24 million and found out that 20 could goes in 24 million, how many times? Let's check. 20 and 24 million, that's 600 billion times. Okay, 20 goes in 24 million, 600 billion times. How many times does 20 goes in 8 million? Well, 20 goes in 8 million 200,000 times. Okay, so we got all of that info. So, and we even found out that how many times 20 goes into 100,000. Well, 20 goes into 100,000 2,500 times. You get me? So we gonna be leaving back with 40,000 as pi. So we found out how many times 20 goes into pi. Well, 20 goes into pi f. 20f goes into pi f 1,000 times, cause pi f is 40,000. And class, that's it. Lesson finished. I'm in my dragon kerchief, representing for the Yakuza. Well, you know, I'm representing France because I'm Francis, King Francis. Vindu, vandu, vindu, 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 vandu, vido. Savundi, avundi, avunda, vundi, vondo. Sindu, vande, vundi, vandu, vido, vandu, chave, o, vindu, vin. Si vunda, France, oh, yeah, French, Washington. Francisco Vindu Abu, Miss Europe 2020 Abu, Avundu, love you, Avundu, Vindu, Vindabido, Abu, Vindu, Vindu, Shkabe. Miss Europe 2019 Abu, Vindu, Vindu, love Abu, Free Abu, Dash, Kafun, Dushkeba, Sidu, Abu. Kylie Jenner, abundi, ventaji, vindu, sindo, abu. Selena Gomez, andura, vindu, de. Dula, vindu, sendo, ve. Miss Europe 2020, abu, vindu, vandu, sindu, vindu, Miss Europe 2019, vindu, de. Selena Gomez, Kylie Jenner, you know me. Avunde, vandushka, avunde, avundu, vendu, shavindu. Kim Kardashian, vindavi. Selena Gomez, avundi. This year of 2020 and this year of 2019 and Kylie Jenner, I know navindo, vandu, Kindle Jenner, Kylie Jenner, you know, later I'm out. You know, this year of 2019 and this year of 2020, have a wonderful night. Kylie Jenner, Selena Gomez, Kim Kardashian, Kendall Jenner, most of all this year of 2020. Bandu, Vindu, Bandush, Gabe, Avundu, Hindu, ladies, this one is for you. So all the men, just take your time out of the camera. This is for the ladies. I'm sending a kiss for the ladies. Bandush, Gabe, for the ladies, Avundu, love you. Bindu, Bandu, Lord Francois, Lord Francisco, even Lord Francis, which one you prefer? Bandu, Bandu. Let's kiss under the moonlight, where the stunning light just shine on us. I could see it now happening. But all the other ladies, you could fantasize that it's me and you. But definitely, Miss Europe, I be talking you. And even Kylie Jenner, if you want to take it up, you could be interested in take it up, because I will be talking you as well. And Selena Gomez, I would have been talking you as well. So you could take it up. So, but most of all, Miss Europe, I be mostly referring to you. And you know, I gaze upon you monthly, daily, nightly, yearly, every daily. You're my baby. Okay, I'm out.